See, that's tight. At least a couple of them are tight. So a lot of the suspension and the drivetrain actually comes from what's called the police package Tahoe. And in the back, the leafs are actually de-arched about 1 inch. So it's a little bit lower, but not too noticeable. And obviously, we hit up Belltech to get this thing even lower. Wait for the train. So basically, it was a carryover from the old body style to the new body style. That was fine.
Well, you made it here. You made it here, no problem.
We're back over here at OBS Headquarters to finish up the rear suspension. We're back 4-inch drop as well.
So Marcel got the leaf springs on the back taken out, removed the factory shackle. We're going to replace that with the Belltech drop shackle. This is going to give you your 2-inch drop. You can also adjust it to just a 1-inch drop. This comes in handy if you only want, a little bit of a drop in the back, or if you are doing a flip kit and you want to go to a 5/7 drop, you're going to throw one of these on and it's going to give you that extra inch. So these are just a replacement part and gets us about 2 inches. Up front is a little bit more tricky. We've got the factory hanger that's riveted in, so we're going to be cutting that out. So with the cutoff wheel, we just kind of did a cross hatch on each of the heads of the rivets. That way we can start chipping the head off, and then we'll just punch the rest of the rivet through and should be able to take the hangers right off. Other 2 inches for the rear is going to come from the front hanger. Now this is a replacement part. We obviously busted out all the rivets, took off the old hanger, and just the weight difference on this is pretty substantial. And this is also gusseted as well, so you're getting a little more strength out of it and moves the mounting location up to get you that extra 2-inch drop in the back. On the passenger side, the front hanger was pretty straightforward, just bolted in. Obviously had to trim a little bit of the bottom of the body's pinch weld right here, just for the clearance, because obviously the mounting location is all being moved up.
On a Tahoe, the fuel lines and some of the rear AC lines actually run through the frame. So this is going to become a big issue if you're doing a notch.
It's a hard line, first off.
Yeah.
But if you're even just doing the hangers like we are, you want to make sure that you've got everything cleared up out of the way before you start drilling or installing any of these bolts.
Now, the fuel tank is on this side. And initially we were thinking, okay, we just need to drop it down a little bit so we can access the bolt for the leaf spring. But being able to get in and put the bolts on the backside for the hangers proved to be a little difficult. So Marcel's been under here. He's very dirty and his hair's got full of dirt and all that stuff. So thank you, Marcel. And we had to drop the whole fuel tank down, just disconnected the filler neck. That allowed us to get in there with an impact and start tightening up all these bolts. So we just got to finish this up and then start mounting all the leaf springs.
If you've been following along on Auto Revolution, you know that we're a big fan of Chevy OBS trucks. And Belltech Suspension has been around for 40 years, and they were one of the first innovators of the sport truck movement back in the 80s. And we've been lucky with them to partner on a few different projects, from the OBS Clash documentary series to the Tahoe Unlimited, and even a few things that we've got up our sleeves coming out later this year. What's really cool is they've partnered with us to offer free shipping if you use the code AutoRevolution24 at Belltech.com.
I think the hardest thing on these, believe it or not, is the upper control arm bolt that's at the back.
Oh yeah, when you got the little shield there that kind of fights you a little bit.
Yeah, everything's in the way. Like if they'd made the inner fender just have a little cutout there that you could put a ratchet in there, it'd be nice, but you got to go up from the bottom, so that's a little bit tricky. Yeah. And the, kind of the most annoying thing of all really is that we have to clean everything.
Man, I'll tell you guys what was doing. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I was behind the camera most of the time. These guys were getting dirty.
Man,
he was getting really dirty.
Next time, don't put 3/4 of gas in a gas tank that got to drop because it's difficult to lift it back up. I've been under there for like an hour and a half.
Made a little list about things we need to do in the morning to make sure when I drive it out of here, it doesn't fall apart. All right.
Can I get a shower?
Yeah, you need to clean up.
I'm the guy that was supposed to be behind the camera. Like, how did this work out?
You got more skills than I got. Camera skills. You got car skills.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right.
All right, let's do
Cool.
While it would be a lot easier if we were using a lift right now, it can be done pretty easily on the ground with some jack stands in your garage. For the final step on the rear suspension of the Tahoe, a set of Belltech Street Performance shocks are installed. Now these are tuned specifically for this drop and for the weight of an SUV. And you want to make sure everything is tight except for the rear shackle. That you're going to want to do once it's back on the ground under its own weight. Otherwise, you might have some binding issues with the suspension. Once that was tightened up, it was off to the alignment shop. Now the 4.4 drop is just enough on this Tahoe that it's got a little bit of a fender gap, but not too crazy, especially with the Tahoe Limited side skirts down below. It's just enough so that we don't have to really worry about too many bumps, scraping in driveways, just able to kind of cruise it around and have a good time.
We did the 4.4 drop on this, so there's no C-notch in the rear, and we don't really seem to have any issues with it bottoming out, which is good. And up front, maybe we'll rub the tire a little bit on the fender lip, but...
So we did end up rolling the fender lips. We heated them, and then Jordan, who's actually a metal fabricator, came in and pounded the lips. I wouldn't recommend this for anyone that's not a skilled body guy or fabricator, because it is a little bit risky, but...
I mean, this thing just rides super nice. Sway bars definitely have made a difference as far as the handling goes, because this thing is just a nice cruiser.